Hi there guys, welcome back to another video. It is a very hot day, so I might not actually get this all done, but we are going to try. As you've probably seen in the description, you probably know exactly what's going on. I am fitting my leisure battery and my switch panel and what have you. Trying to, like I said, it's boiling, so don't know how well that's going. I've got a battery on charge at a minute, so hopefully by the time I get that done, it'll be charged enough. But before we look at any of it, I need to get some room to work. That's the roof lining. That's obviously the sofa beds and cushions and what have you. And I have very little room to do anything. So let's get this emptied. I just want to interrupt this video real quick just to say, if you're interested in any of the stuff I've got coming out, I mean, I've got the lanyards, I've got stickers galore, I've got the white ones coming, the hoodie, below hoodie, the t-shirts. I mean, it comes in pretty much any colour you can think of, and there's another design coming out and it should be the next couple of days. If I remember, I'll put it up on the screen somewhere. Please just hit me up on Instagram. It's the same name as this. It's Prance Project. And send me a message on there. I'll send you a price. I'm trying to be as fair as I can. I outsource this and then they make it to order basically and then send it directly to you. So I'm not really making a lot of money on this. I'm not doing this to make money. I just want to get nice clothes out there to you guys. So if you're interested, please go hit me up in my Instagram and back on with the video. Well, it's nothing special, but it's a damn sight more room to work. Obviously I need to work in the front, in the bonnet, and I'm putting the leisure battery just there. So it's a little bit more room than it was. I mean, as you've seen, most of it's just on the roof. But it's out my way. And this, obviously, I do have a leisure battery. It's just a normal battery. It's not one of those gel ones or anything. I will upgrade to one of them. I just managed to get this one, in fact, for free. Brand new battery, so I thought, why not use it? So like I said, I will upgrade to probably one of those gel specially ones at some point, but you can't say no to free. I have got this. I don't know if you can remember, my son, oops, sorry, got this. My son actually made the box, obviously a bit of help from me, but he screwed it all together, and yeah, fair play to the lad. I probably will be getting another switch panel because all I've got is cigarette lighter, a cigarette lighter and 2 USBs, and like these switches are all for cigarette lighter, USBs, and that's to turn the actual volt dial thing on and off. So I probably will upgrade that to one that's just with switches, so I can put all my interior lights and other things onto actual switches rather than have just these three. I have this in here, which is just a couple of meters of thicker gauge wire. So obviously you see I do like to use the speaker wire for low voltage stuff, but off the battery to this I decided to buy some thicker gauge proper wire, because the plan was to leave the leisure battery up there and then have the switch panel back here, but that's now changed. That's not going to happen, but it's always handy just to have some better thicker gauge wire. And obviously the main event is split charge relay kit. Well, this is pretty much everything other than the battery that I've got. I mean, the kit comes with obviously that, and that isn't in the kit. But it comes with two 250mm power cables, a 500mm and a 1.9, so basically 2 meters of power cable, a 1 meter earth, the actual split charge relay, 2 of these battery putter honors, I can't remember what these are called, terminals, the trunking, some sticky stuff and zip ties and more sticky stuff, some more connectors and heat shrink, got the actual fuses, 100 amp fuses. Yeah, 100 amp fuses for the fuse holders. All the screws and bits and bobs. Even comes with, there it is, the actual drill bit as well, which is pretty cool. And then I've obviously got the switch panel and the thicker gauge wire I bought separately. So basically we're going to go 250 mil to one of the fuse connectors. There's two here, it just needs to be broke off. One of the fuse connectors, and then it's the 500 mil lead, which then goes to the split charge relay. Then this is actually even, there's a 1.9 meter long, which goes from that to the other fuse connector, and then the small bit to your actual leisure battery, and that is essentially all of that done. You then need to take it off the negative terminal and ground it somewhere. I'm probably going to ground it off the bottom of where the seat belt is, or onto the floor down here, obviously over there somewhere. And then you've just got terminals, obviously they need to go in at the end and whatnot. It's a very easy install. I mean, like I said, I've had a quick glance over this and the multiple videos I've actually seen, but I'm now going to basically chuck it in. So wish me luck. Well, I'm at the battery, and there's obviously the power side. In a minute I have got my sub run here, which is onto the top of the battery, just well, you can see onto the top of the battery, this black wire. But that's coming off, that's going to be going on the leisure battery. But for now, just keep it here, deal with that. And obviously that's the hole there, goes through there into the actual cab, and the little bung for it to keep it all watertight. This end here is going to be going on to the battery. I will not be connecting that yet. The fuse, I'm going to keep this side of the firewall, and then all the rest of that wire goes through there into the actual cab. So all I'm doing here, just feeding this down through that hole until I get to that fuse connector. That fuse connector I'm probably going to get mounted, probably, I don't know where, probably around here somewhere. Hopefully you can see this. Might even do it up against the side here actually, just up there. And then connect to the battery from there. That should be just enough lead to do it with. So that's that side done. As you can see, it's all come out here. It does come out up there, as you can see. And then what I'm actually going to do, before I get tightened up too much more in here, I'm going to tidy up this wire a little bit, so I can see it being a pain in the ass if I don't do it now. And then I can think about where to mount this. So I think the best way I could probably do this is behind all this plastic back up here. Probably can't see very well, but behind all this I'm going to run it around here, down the wheel arch, and into underneath the bottom of the seat. I think that's probably the best option. I mean, I don't know how well you're going to obviously be able to see this. Different people are going to mount this in different ways. This is just the way that I think might work. If you can think of a better way, that's what that comment section below is for. Please let me know. All I've done is just run it underneath this bit, underneath that step, pokes out there. And then I can connect it to that split charge. That end then goes to a fuse. From there, using that to the battery. That side is done. I've decided I want to consolidate all of my electrics under this passenger seat. So I am going to connect this up. I'm going to put the split charge relay up on the side, and then put the battery next to it. And then I've got a good earthing point over here on the bottom of the seat belt, which is quite close by. And everything is consolidated here. So I've already got this half already connected. I'm going to connect this piece in here. Well, that's not going to work. So what I'm going to do instead is probably just drill into here. Or maybe underneath this matting, because it is just the body underneath here. That's all glued though, so I'll probably what I'll do is I'll cut into this, expose the bodywork underneath and drill into that, and then that way I can get my earth points for these two. So I'm going to get this seat taken out. Easy job, and it's only a couple of 15 mils. Get that seat out, and then I can look at, I don't know if you can see that. No, you can't. There's like a little wiring harness under here. Get that done, and look how I can get this lot mounted. So catch you in a sec. So that's the area I've got to work with. Ignore that. It's these 4 holes here. That's the area I got to work with for the battery, the split charge, and I'm hoping if I can cut part of this away, I've got somewhere to put my earthing point. Well, there we go. I've now got my earthing point. I'm going to clean that up. My earthing point is now the bottom of the seat. Perfect. So earth to the bottom of the seat. Oops, sorry. Earth to the bottom of the seat. Mount that. That also is going to get earthed to the same point. And battery goes on there. That also connects, that end also connects to the battery, and we're done. So I'm probably not going to bore you with this part, because there's probably no way I'm going to be able to film this tidy. But that's essentially what's going to happen. I'm going to go get the battery, put it here, put the seat back on the top and make sure it doesn't foul on the bottom of the seat. Hopefully that's going to be perfect. I'm going to clean that terminal up, make sure that that's going to be all okay. But yeah, and then all of my electrics is in one little area. I am going to be building a little bit of a cabinet here, which will block off that end of it, and then I'll have my switch panel on there somewhere, and then it'll all be in one little area. Perfect. Right, see you in a sec. Well, it's a good few hours after I last picked up the camera, and I kind of got carried away. I've managed to get the battery underneath. I did have to cut part of this rubber floor out. It's quite thick, so it now sits down into the rubber floor there. And I don't know how well you can see, but above each terminal, all the way around on both of them, there is plenty of room, so it's not going to be fouling. And I will be putting some like rubber or something up there, because that is metal, just to stop that from touching. Probably use a bit of that actually. So now we can get back to what we was doing. I mean, I'm gonna have to tidy these wires up because it's sat on them. There's my earthing cable and my live. So I could technically get this bolted down now. There you go. As you can see, I have cut the floor so it's recessed in, and I have hammered the bottom of the seat in. And what I'm probably going to do is probably mount this probably about here into the floor. That's my split charge relay. And then this end here is going to go onto that terminal. This end here goes onto that terminal. The other end of it connects there. That's also going to get connected onto there. And essentially I think that's done. And then this mat I cut out will go on top of the battery like that, and then that way problem solved. So I've got the negative on, and as you may or may not have seen, I did put that rubber mat, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that, but there's that rubber mat in between that and the seat just in case, so that's not going to foul out on that. I'm going to connect the live to the live, And while I'm here doing all the lives and the negatives, I'm going to run a little bit of that so that I can run my switch panel, and then I'm just going to place my switch panel in there. All of this is just going to be placed for a minute to make sure it is working correctly before I start bolting things down. And then once I build the cabinet that's going to go here, this will be living in it, and it all will be done properly. But just for now, I want to make sure this works. What I'm probably going to do is just stop recording for a minute. My camera battery is about to die, so I'm going to finish up doing what I'm doing, run the last little bit of the wiring, and I will come back to you in a second for you, and I will let you know what I done, if anything. Well, been about an hour later, not much more has happened. I mean, the battery's now all wired back in. That rubber's still there, and I wired in these two tails, and these are going to be connected to the back of my switch panel. So technically, that's the voltage of my battery, and that's this battery. So that part is done. Once I start the van, that light should then come on, which shows that it'll be charging my battery. So keep your eye on that light. There we go, so the light's on, so that's now charging, and then that will go off once I turn the van off. There we go, the relay's now clicked off. So that shows that it is no longer charging from the starter battery to this battery. So that's proven that that works. Very pleased. So like I said, I'm not going to do anything with it just yet. I don't want to put anything in its final position just yet. I'm going to live with it just for a day or two, just to make sure everything's okay. And I want to run one of those cooler box things. I want to put one of them in there and make sure if it does drain anything or what happens, it's only going to be that battery, not my starter. So I need to wait for my day off, which is in a couple of days. But it's a very easy install. Hopefully this video has been helpful. I've tried to do my best whilst also doing it and running out of battery. But essentially you've seen the basics of it. Once I start to do a little bit more, I will update this video as it goes. So I'm sorry if this video wasn't helpful, or if it was, then perfect. Well, I've got a fair few things I need to go tidy up and put a little bit safer. I want to screw this in and just make sure everything's just a bit safer and tidier. And I still obviously need to get the stuff that I put on the roof out, and I've got loads left to do. Aww. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I hope this video has been helpful for you. Sorry if it hasn't been, but I've done my best anyway. If you like this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, go hit that subscribe button. Take it easy, guys.